This is Volusia Today, a public information radio program brought to you by the County of Volusia.
Good morning, Volusia County. My name is Michael Ryan, and you are listening to Volusia Today, your one and only source for local news about Volusia County. How's that, Dave?
That was wonderful.
I try new one every time.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Good morning, Dave. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I am excited to have you here today. We are joined by our former co-host, Dave, and two very special guests. Dave, I'm going to let you introduce them. I got to be honest with you. I'm super nervous today.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because you always look better than me, and you've got the killer hair. You always look good. But really, I'm terrified of Mark. Mark is the most scary person. Thank you for being here today, Mark. I apologize for being late for your radio appearance. Dave.
Michael is referencing Mark Weinberg, the court administrator with the 7th Judicial Circuit Court of Florida. And we also have Chief Judge Leah Case in the studio this morning. It kind of is a big deal. I'm a little nervous as well. I've worked with the 7th Judicial Circuit now for about 8 months, and I still get a little nervous walking in there. There's just so many exceptional people in the arena of courts that I'm still getting nervous, you know?
Yeah, I'm fascinated by your new world. When you took this job, I had a lot of questions for you. And I got to be, yesterday, we sat in this very chair yesterday. I sat in this chair, and we had the county manager. We have the fire chief quite often. We have the chambers. We have a lot of important people sitting in these chairs. And it's as far as I know, it's your first time on the air with us?
Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Well, and it's also the Friday before Christmas. So Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everybody. Christmas. So, Dave, I tell you what, can you introduce, do you have any background introductions? Or should we just dig right into it? Normally we do a little bit of news and stuff.
So I can give a little bit of information, but I was actually going to toss it to the guests to kind of introduce.
Okay.
I don't know, Mark, would you like to go first and give a little introduction on yourself?
I'd be happy to.
And if you miss anything, I can fill in.
No, it's okay.
Points. All right.
I'm not as scary as Mike makes it seem.
Yes, you are.
I wish our viewers could see Mark's suit. Mark looks like he walked off the runway every day on It's Casual Friday, Mark. Did nobody say that you didn't get the memo?
I'm Mark Weinberg. I'm the court administrator of the 7th Judicial Circuit. I've been here since 1993.
Okay.
Received my undergraduate degree from James Madison University Go Dukes in public administration. I have a master's degree in judicial administration from the University of Denver. Worked in the court system in Phoenix, Arizona for about 10 years before moving here to take this job.
So I had no idea judicial administration was a discipline, was a thing. That's so what does your day-to-day life look like? I think I kind of understand what a judge's day-to-day looks like. At least I have some assumptions on that, right? What is yours?
I think you'd be surprised.
Well, I hope so.
What judges do.
How many judges do you have? Do you manage, if that's the right term?
I work for the...
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So we have 44 judges spread throughout the 7th Circuit, which consists of Flagler, Putnam, St. John's, and Volusia counties.
Okay.
27 circuit judges and 17 county court judges.
Okay. That's a...
he missed a couple things that I think are pretty outstanding.
We don't correct Mark on this show.
No, we don't.
I don't know what you're about to do.
He's been in the position here in the 7th Judicial Circuit for over 30 years. Is that correct? Or is it 30 years as a court administrator?
31 years here.
Here in this circuit, which is amazing. And on the national level and the state courts all talk, and Mark is a go-to reference and has a lot of knowledge and shares a lot of information. So he's intertwined and is valuable for courts across the country. So that's just a little bit that I've picked up in months that I figured I'd want to share.
Judge Case, you getting all this?
I am. I'm writing it down. No, that's very true. He was nationally recognized recently. I was there for the award. We are very, very blessed to have Mark working with us.
Thank you for saying so.
Well, the court system really does have such a great reputation. And I would assume at some point that has to be attributed to you on some level. I have to ask you this too. We have, and I'm going to ask you this.
It's the people that work in the system more than
We on the county council, we have 7 council members. We have a county administrator. We have a county attorney who thinks he's my boss. So there's a handful of people that we report to. It's hard to report to 7, 8, 9 people. You have 44 bosses.
I do.
That's got to be over how many square? What was that? 6 or 7 counties? Did I count right?
4 counties.
4 counties. Okay.
4 counties. So the square miles of it is a little over 2,900 square miles, the combined land mass of the circuit. So it's roughly the size of the state of Delaware and Rhode Island combined.
Wow.
So pretty big area.
Are you in your car a lot?
I am. A lot of driving.
Yeah, I would guess. Dave, would you like to introduce our other guest?
Chief Judge Leah Case.
Done, right? You dropped the mic.
Judge
We're
Leah
done.
Case.
That's it.
That's enough. That alone stands alone. Yeah, if you want to go ahead, you gotta.
Thank you for having me here. It's great to be here. I grew up in Volusia County. I went to Tomoka Elementary. It was Ormond Junior when I went here. Ormond Junior, Seabreeze High School. Went off to University of Florida for undergrad and law school, and came back and raised my family here. So I love Volusia County, and I am the chief judge. The other judges elected me as chief judge, and it's a super honor to do it. It's a lot of work, but I'm very honored.
How long have you been chief judge?
A year and a half.
Okay.
We do 2-year terms.
Okay.
I've been a judge since 2000. I was appointed in 2010. The end of 2010, started January of 2011.
So what is chief judge? I know what the chair of the county council means in my world. What does the chief judge mean?
The chief judge, it really is responsible for ensuring that our circuit is running efficiently and well. I am not the boss of any judge. I do not have. I don't tell them what to do, so to speak, in everyday working situations. But like if I want the judge to move to a different seat or something like that, I can do that. But I answer to the Supreme Court of Florida.
Okay.
So the chief judges, there's 20 judicial circuits in the state of Florida. Each circuit has a chief judge, and we answer to the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court. So I'm responsible just to make sure the dockets are running smoothly and the judges are in positions, where they're competent and they're doing well, and it's an easy job. Excuse me, for us, because we have fantastic judges here in the Seventh Judicial Circuit. We really do. I tell them all the time at meetings, I travel the state now too, and every time I go anywhere, I hear about how professional the judges are. People can get hearing time. They can get a hold of the JAs and have a conversation with the judicial assistant of the judge to set hearings. And if you look at the appeals, everybody's going to get reversed. We're making snap decisions, and we don't have time to sit back and research it. So people are going to make mistakes, and that's why we have the appellate course, the 50 CA. We very rarely get reversed here. And that's because the judges work so hard to get it right.
I never would have thought that feels like a point of pride for you in the system. The lack of, as a layman being outside the court system, I don't know that I would have anticipated that.
It is. I'm very proud of our judges and how hard they work, because you are expected to make mistakes. Judges are expected to get reversed. That's why we have the appellate courts. They comb over everything. They have their law clerks. They're deciding if we made the right call on introducing evidence or, analyzing the law. And you have to do a lot of work on our end, because we're making the decisions in a very quick manner to not get reversed. So I'm very proud of us.
Just in case, can we come back after our break? I'd like to dig into what makes a person decide to be a judge early on? Do you know when you're 5 years old? 'Cause I wanted to be a baseball player. Actually, I wanted to be a rock star. I didn't make it. But
you did.
Does it start? I don't know. Does it start that early, or do you want to be a lawyer? And do you transition into wanting to be a judge? Can we come back and talk a little bit about that? All right, we'll be right back after the break.
Subscribe to the Volusia County YouTube channel
And hit the bell icon to know what's happening
happening in your hometown.
There are so many great places to explore
And things to learn.
with over 1,000 videos available right now. The channel offers something for everyone.
Let's go!
Did you know we have countless features showcasing history, nature, wildlife, and recreation? Subscribe and hit the bell icon.
Or that we live stream important county meetings and workshops where leaders make decisions that can impact our everyday lives. Did you subscribe yet?
Or that we record our weekly radio show, Volusia Today, where we interview staff from the different divisions and departments across our great county, and they discuss the nitty-gritty of their field and expertise.
Go ahead, subscribe.
But that's not it. There's more. Subscribe and hit the bell icon and fully explore.
Score!
Good morning, Volusia County. We are back with Volusia Today, and I am joined today by a special co-host, David. David, thank you for returning.
I'm not the special one in the.
You're very special. I think last time you were in this room, you were sitting in my chair. It was your goodbye show, right?
I think you're right.
How long did you work with us?
I think it was 4 years, 4 years.
Well, you're definitely missed.
Well, y'all are doing a great job. I stay up to date with the social media, and I watch the council meetings, and y'all are doing an exceptional job. I miss working with y'all too, but the great news is we still get to work together a lot.
Yes,
a lot of people might find surprising.
We have found you to be a great resource now that you're over there and stuff. And Mark, I have to tell you, we they're renovating our offices right now.
Okay.
So we had to go into Dave's old cube. And we found I'll try. Dave used to bike when he was in our office, and he would take breaks at the end of the day or lunch, and he would go bike. And when you bike, he's dressed in work clothes from 9 to 5, but when he would bike, he would change clothes and stuff. So, Dave, we have a whole bag of your dirty laundry that we found.
We're airing my dirty laundry
that was behind the wall. Dave apparently he needed 3 or 4 computers. We didn't know that. We found some computers that had been missing for a while. So, Dave, it was quite a treasure trove. Well, Judge Case, when we took a break, we were talking about how you became a judge.
Well, I became a judge because some people I respected really encouraged me to do it. It wasn't on my radar. I loved my job. I loved being a lawyer. I wasn't looking to change, but a couple people, a judge, he was chief at the time, Judge Parsons, he encouraged me, and Noah McKinnon, a longtime lawyer in the area who does commercial litigation. And they just kept encouraging me that, look, I think you'd really like it. You'd be good at it, do it. And so I just took a leap of faith. And that's actually what we're doing with people. We're trying right now to talk to people who we think that might be good at it, because we have some openings coming up. We actually have hopefully two new judges. If the legislature will fund them,
right.
We're slated to get 2 new judges. And Mark and I have been talking about that. We need some room, and we're collaborating with the county on that right now to expand our courthouses, either a new courthouse or expand the area we have, because we're out of room, right, Mark? We are.
Yes. All of our offices are full where the judges sit. All of our courtrooms are busy every day. So we're going to need some more space. And that kind of leads to a point that I wanted to make at the partnership that the court has with the county.
Yes.
And that, although we're primarily state funded, we do rely on the counties to provide facilities for us. So we work really well with all 4 counties. But as Judge Case mentioned, we're out of space and we're going to need some more room.
Well, Mark, you chose the right show. I may know a couple of people who are listening. With all those counties, but really Volusia County is your favorite, right? You can tell us.
Yes.
You can tell. Good answer.
It's where I make my home.
Judge Case, how do you know when a court system needs new judges?
You look at the caseload and how many cases we're trying to get through the system. And if you start backing up, then you need some. But actually, this was a statewide data collection, and it took months and months from judges all over the state documenting for a certain period of time how much time they spent on each kind of case, from a misdemeanor case, disorderly conduct, all the way up to a homicide murder case. So the state got that information, and they've decided how many judges each circuit needed. And we actually, they said we could use more, but we've asked for 2 new judges, circuit judges.
Okay. And your chances are fairly good. Is the state good about that? How does that process work?
Mark could probably answer that better than me.
Well, it is a process, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
So it starts with the Supreme Court asking the circuits what they think they need. And so we make application to the Supreme Court, and they issue an opinion known as a certification opinion, where they say to the legislature, they have a statutory duty to do that. And they say to the legislature, this is how many judges that we, the Supreme Court, think are needed throughout the state. And then it's up to the legislature to fund those and create those positions.
Wow. That's I wouldn't have known that was such a detailed process. It feels like it would be kind of simply case driven, almost supply and demand. Is that
well, as Judge Case mentioned, it is a very numbers driven thing. There's
and the complexity of the cases, because
right.
What may have taken an hour to do 10 years ago might take 4 hours, given the advancement in legal theories and arguments and things like that. So it's not just the number of cases, but it's the difficulty or complexity or time needed. You have a lot of pro se people in county court. Well, you have to take, you're slower. You're speaking slower. They're trying to comprehend what you're saying. They're asking questions. So what someone might say is a simple case takes longer than they think. Right.
Sure.
And
I just want to interject. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For those who don't understand the legal terminology, pro se.
Yeah, thank you.
People who are self-represented.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I was about to pull my phone out and look that up. But I didn't want to do it in front of the judge.
And what we have here is, and the county's dealing with, I mean, they were dealing with this 10 years ago about needing more space. But what happens is now we're at a point where we have run out in Volusia. If I get 2 new judges, circuit judges, they're circuits. So there's 7th Judicial Circuit judges. I might not be able to put them in Volusia County. I might have to put them in Flagler or St. John's where there's room. And then we don't get the benefit of having that judge.
Sure.
So it's a hard situation because you're talking about lots of money to expand a courthouse or build a new one. And so, there needs to be real thought put into it. And, but it is beneficial to the citizens down the road to have, an efficient running court system.
Yeah, I do think, again, being on the outside, there's just an assumption, a perception that the court system, not necessarily this court system, but all court systems are slow. And it takes a lot of time for any case to work, like in some cases, years, right? Mm-hmm. But you kind of think that that's just the way it is. Like you don't think about there's actually a fix.
If you have the benefit of looking at other circuits compared to our circuit, we run very quickly.
That's interesting. And I wouldn't even think about a comparison. Again, on the outside, I would think it's just all kind of the same. It's the court system. That's what it is. David, I will tell you, I've been on this planet. Well, I'm not going to give you a number. I just celebrated my birthday a couple last week. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. It was an important one.
40?
And yes, it was 40. That's what it was, Dave. Correct.
I'm trying to get good points. You want everybody.
Dave's trying to get another job with me. A long time, and I have never served on jury duty ever. And I almost feel like I know people try to avoid it, or some people. I just never, for whatever reason, never have. And I almost kind of want to go do it at some point. You wanted to talk about jury duty. What's up with that?
Well, so I've wanted to do it too, and I've never had the opportunity. But I will tell you, my dad had the opportunity to go into jury duty. Maybe it was a couple months back. He didn't get selected, but for the next 2 weeks, he was ranting and raving about the process, what he learned, how professional the whole thing was, right? And that was just him. I work in the circuit, right? So something we could talk about, but he wouldn't let it go. He kept ranting. He's like, "Hey, you need to do big marketing push on jury duty." It was amazing. And what he said, though, was interesting, right? He looked around, and the demographic that he saw was his age group, right? So he's in the 70s. He's 70 years old, right? He didn't see a lot of young people. He didn't see anything but really like that age group in jury duty with him. I don't know if that's like an everyday occurrence. Mark you could probably shine some more light on that as far as jury duty goes and participation. But that was just his thoughts when he went in.
Right. Well, the qualifications to become a juror are basically that you be over the age of 18, which is really it, and a citizen. Citizen of the county in which you're summoned to appear. Right. So they use mostly driver's license information to create the source list, but driver's licenses and state IDs.
Okay.
That they use as the source.
But I think it was ingrained in me early, like in elementary school. That's my duty as an American or citizen and all that stuff to go do it. So if the two of you could please send me a letter and get me on jury duty soon, that would be great. So I can check that.
Case has some comments you wanted to make about jury duty.
I do. This is my passion. I've been a trial lawyer or a trial judge for 30 years. And so I have lots of experience with jurors. And I can tell you 95% of people who serve on juries either loved the experience, or if it wasn't particularly pleasurable, they really respected the process and learned a lot. Because I tell them, call me afterwards, talk to me about it. So everybody has this position, not everybody, but lots of people, they're trying to get out of jury duty. What I would like people to understand is, think about if your loved one needed a jury trial. Either a loved one was charged with a crime, a loved one was a victim of a crime. Right. A loved one has a business dispute they're trying to settle, a contract, an accident. What kind of people do you want on that jury? You want people that aren't just trying to get out of it, that understand that it is an obligation that we have, one of two as citizens, jury duty and paying taxes. Yeah. Jury duty is much more fun. It really is a good experience. This is the only time you get to really participate in your government. You're not responsible for sentencing in criminal. It's the judge. You are just evaluating the evidence. The jurors don't have to read the verdict form like they do on TV. Some people get nervous about that. The clerk does it. But it is your chance to really be part of your government. You are deciding whether the state has proved a case beyond a reasonable doubt, you and your fellow citizens. That's it. Nobody else is deciding. So you're deciding that. Or whether the plaintiff has proved by a preponderance of the evidence, 51%, whatever they're trying to prove. So it really is an experience that you get to see government run by the people. The people are deciding.
That is so amazing to hear it explained that way, because most people look at it as my time is valuable. I don't have time to be there. I've got to work. I've got kids. Whatever the reason is and stuff. But it really is our duty as resident citizens, especially of Volusia County, to go serve and be part of the government. I have to do that every day, so that doesn't sound really exciting to me. Right. But I understand not everybody does. And to go get to be part of the process. And it amazing.
Really is, I promise you, if you're listening, I promise you, it really is an enjoyable or educational experience.
Absolutely.
And also, so trials, right? So the juries are selected for trials, is that correct?
Yes.
So can you talk a little bit about how often trials actually occur within the courthouse?
Very minimally. I mean,
really?
Yeah, very minimally. We have trials every month. But in the grand scheme of things, as far as you're considering your docket, like 1%, Mark, maybe goes to trial?
Yeah, a little more than that, but certainly less than 5% of the cases are resolved by a trial.
Mark, because if they're not, and I think I know the answer, but if they're not resolved by a trial, how are they resolved?
Well, it depends on the kind of case, but criminal cases, they have what are known as plea agreements, where they reach a resolution short of a trial. Civil and family, basically the parties just come together and reach some sort of a mutually acceptable resolution amongst themselves. That's one of the things that we employ and contract with people who are mediators. And the process of mediation is a form of alternative dispute resolution, with the notion that let's bring the people in and have just a conversation amongst them and help them formulate a solution themselves. And so the research shows that people, if you participate in the formulation of a solution, number one, it's more agreeable to you, and it has a longer lasting effect.
Oh no, that's interesting.
So on the trial situation, how rare it is, we do a lot of school tours, right? So a lot of schools come in and
Sure.
everybody wants to see a trial. Like everybody wants to sit
sure.
in on a trial. I've been here for 8 months. There has not been a trial. We've had the opportunity to do that. But on the school tour thing, if you want to come in and check out the courthouse and learn about the courts in general, email info@circuit7.org and we'll get you in there. Your group, students, leadership organizations, come on in. And I just had to do one plug for social media real quick. We started up some social media channels so you can follow along with what the 7th Judicial Circuit has going on. The easiest way to do that is going to be going to our website, circuit7.org. And in the upper right-hand corner, all the social media icons are there. Like and follow on. We got a lot of really cool stuff going on. Our judges are out in the community. We're giving back. We're serving the community the best we can, and it'd be awesome if y'all followed along.
Y'all hear David representing you guys? He's so much better at messaging than me. I just get on the radio and blah 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 blah. And Dave is getting his messaging in. That's so impressive. And David is a little progressive for a court system to have social media?
Mark would probably be able to speak more to that. I don't know when that started happening, but a majority of the circuits are on social media.
Yeah,
Are they?
most are nowadays.
Okay.
Yes, and that's one of the other things I wanted to mention. The best way to learn about the court system is just to come and watch. The doors are open. All of our courtrooms are open and available to the public. Just come by and see for yourself.
And I have people that come by all the time because when I'm out speaking to groups, I tell them, come sit in the courtroom. And please, if anybody ever wants to come sit in the courtroom at all, get a hold of Dave, get a hold of me, get a hold of Mark. Any courtroom. There's very few that have to be closed for confidentiality, but most courtrooms are completely open. And you just get to sit in there and watch.
Can I use the last few seconds of time to extend an invitation for the two of you to come back? I would like to have a longer conversation.
I'm not invited?
David too, yeah. Volusia County, have a great weekend. Thank you.
1.7 miles of unique coastline. You know, Volusia County beaches. Yeah, those beaches. But also these beaches. We have millions of visitors every year, and we work around the clock to keep our beaches safe and beautiful. And you can help!
Swim near a staff lifeguard tower.
Pick up your trash and fill holes. Identify, avoid, and escape rip currents.
Please leave the beach cleaner than you found it.
There we go. Look out for one another and keep an eye on kids, especially near the traffic lane and in the water.
Pets are allowed at our 2 pet-friendly beaches, Lighthouse Point Park and Smyrna Dunes Park.
If you see something, say something.
A clean and safe beach guarantees fun in the sun for everyone. Thank you for doing your part to keep Volusia County beaches beautiful. See you at the beach!
Make the most of your day at the beach. Download the Volusia County Beaches app today. Sign up for real-time notifications on vehicle ramp openings and closings. Find staffed lifeguard towers. Get updates on tides and beach conditions, plus off-beach parking and coastal parks info. Volusia County Beaches app is available for your smart devices at the App Store and Google Play.